Moving from our very first game to a sequel is such a different process. We know we have to attack it with a completely new mindset. Knowing what went wrong, what went right, it allows us to approach the gameplay design in completely new ways. Being as open as possible about our own missteps is such a big part of making a game 2 that is leagues ahead of where we started. Probably the biggest strength of Dark Deity 1 was the class systems. Having 54 player classes that really change your units, and we wanted to go even further with the classes this time, which is really becoming a signature of our games. The new player classes in Dark Deity 2, I think, are some of the most unique in any RPG I've played, and we're really not pulling any punches. Building a completely new codebase from the ground up means it's taking longer, but it allows us to do really cool things with the gameplay and classes that we couldn't if we had reused from the first game. Like every class has 2 signature abilities to go along with their passive. And you have abilities like Chain Lightning, which is classic, but there's also more strategically interesting options that aren't just damage. Like there's a class that can slow down enemies in a water vortex. There's a class that has a capuchin monkey pet that steals from enemies and distracts them. And we're focusing on smaller, extremely focused combat scenarios where we have closer control over the difficulty, with stronger enemies to go along with your units having increased capabilities, and we're really dialing in on balance. We're adding terrain effects, there's a roguelike mode, a ton of enemy classes, and completely changed progression systems from the first game, but the core of Dark Deity 2 will still be recognizable. You take a cast of characters that you can really connect with who aren't necessarily the strongest to start out, and you fight with them, you customize them, you make them your own, until they're incredibly powerful, and you've gone suddenly from fighting a couple bandits to calling down meteors.